is Edison Vasquez. Welcome to another episode of the Industrial Real Estate Podcast with Comreal. This is episode 17, and we are discussing tips for owners before leasing or selling their industrial building. My name is Edison Vasquez. You can find me online on Instagram at Edison Industrial, on Twitter at Edison CRE, and on LinkedIn at Edison Vasquez PA. Also, feel free to visit our website at warehousesmarket.com. As always, you can find our podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your podcast, or you can watch us on our YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com/Comreal Edison, and you'll see all of our podcasts plus all of our videos that we do frequently on our channel. Today, I'm joined by my daughter, Ella, and she's co-hosting this podcast. She enjoys working with me a couple times, so I have the joy and pleasure of having her a couple times. And if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see both of my daughters, Ella and Eva, on the podcast on our Instagram. So episode 17. So these are some tips that we've put together and gathered for business owners or owners of industrial buildings, and things that we suggest before leasing or selling the building to maximize the price and maximize the rental rate. So a couple tips. In real estate, as in many businesses, first impressions are very important, and these will help you maximize, or help owners maximize the lease rate or the sell price. Tenant and buyers will more likely go for a space that requires the least amount of improvements, and where they can visualize going to the getting their business operating quickly without any delays, without having to wait for a lot of build out or a lot of improvements that they have to do on their own, or a lot of improvements if they buy the building, such as the roof. So it's important to owners of properties to present a clean, organized, and ready building so they can maximize the lease rate or the purchase price. So here are some tips to consider, and there are many more that we have accumulated over the years, but these are the most important that will help you at least create the first impression and maximize the lease rate or sell price. Number one, clean office and bathrooms. This is very, very simple, but yet a lot of owners don't take the time to do that. It doesn't have to be a perfectly painted new floors, but a clean office that has electricity and that can show the new tenant or the owner the possibilities of the space helps a lot and makes a good presentation. And a lot of tenants or new owners will most likely do their own build out or accommodate the office to their own liking, but as long as it's clean, bathrooms are presentable, that creates a better image and more attractive, especially in a competitive market. Number two, paint any walls that needed to be painted in the office as in the warehouse. A lot of tenants and owners like to walk around the space, so it's important to have all the offices and warehouses clean and presentable. And that's in the interior and the exterior. So if in the interior, make sure the offices are painted, and the walls at least. And same thing in the warehouse, so there's no scratches. And in case of what we see here in Florida, we see a lot of sprinkler damage in the exterior walls when there's that iron that gets on the walls. It might not be much, but for tenants and landlords, for tenants and buyers, it might make a difference when leasing or buying a property. Number three, clean the warehouse floors. Believe it or not, a lot of tenants or buyers, they look at the warehouse floor, they see the wear and tear and anything that has been left on the floors. And so it's important to it doesn't take much to do a pressure washing to clean the floors. If there's any cracks, you can patch those, make sure they're structurally sound, and it will help maximize again the lease rate and the sell price. So over the years, forklifts run over the joints, or in the warehouse floor you see scratches or tire marks. So those things that can be cleaned with a pressure washing or can be fixed easily, and it doesn't take much time, and it can help you improve the volume. Next, resurface and restripe parking. So a lot of tenants, when they go in, and especially if they're going to be there for a long time, they want to have a good image from the beginning. So resurface and restripe parking is very crucial, and it will help improve the value of the building as a landlord over the next 10, 15, 20 years. That can always help the value. So resurface, restripe parking, especially driving into the property that has just been resurfaced, and restripe parking creates a phenomenal image, and it will make you look good as a landlord or as a business owner that you're selling the building, that you have a system and that you have organization in your properties, and present a good image that you'll be a good landlord to be with. The next one, change the lights in the office and the warehouse. Very simple, again, very common, and it can help you create a lot of value when you're leasing and selling a building. A lot of times we go into warehouses that have no electricity and it's really dark, and it creates a horrible image for tenants who are looking to lease a space, or for buyers looking at a space, and they might think that the landlord doesn't take care of the building, and therefore they might decrease their offering price. So it's important to have, change the lights in the office and the warehouse, and make sure there's electricity. So when showing the space, the lights go on quickly, and the tenants and landlord can see their tenants and the buyers can see the space completely. It creates an image and a connection for tenants and buyers to the building, because if it's dark, they might not realize the potential for the space. So change the lights, make sure all the lights are working, and in the office as in the warehouse. One side note on the office, and I mentioned that in the first point, there's no need to completely redo the office as long as it's clean, some painted, because again the new tenant or the new buyer will most likely do their own remodeling. So if they go in and they buy or lease the space, they will most likely redo the floors, redo the ceiling tiles, maybe move some walls, or if they are a long-term tenant, they will ask you to do improvements, which in this case you allow that as a landlord. New floors, replace some walls, move some walls around, add some walls. So those are things that you will do once there's a signed contract with a tenant. And same thing with the if you're selling the building, as long as it's clean, painted, and clean floors, it's fine. You don't need to go ahead and spend money on changing floors right away. And then the next point, make any roof repairs that will extend the life of the roof. This is very crucial. That one of the first questions that somebody will ask, and when we go into a building, either a tenant or a buyer, is what's the age of the roof? What's the condition of the roof? A very frequent common question from tenants and buyers. So you as an owner, if you've been able to take care of the roof and you have a maintenance or you have warranty, it will improve the value of your building, and it will make you look as a very organized landlord and owner that will help you get a higher price and a higher lease rate. So any roof repairs that will extend the life of the roof, very crucial, worth the investment, and it will help you maximize again the lease rate and the sale price. Last but not least, again going back to as a first impression, improve any landscape around the property. So it might not seem like a big deal, but companies, this is going to the property is going to be their second home, and they spend a lot of time into the building. So having a good landscape around the property will help visualize, and it will make it more of a home than just a building or a warehouse. So having some very good landscape, and it doesn't have to be really expensive or expensive plants or expensive landscape, but as long as it's maintained, clean, grass cut, trees are trimmed, it will be a big step compared to other landlords that don't take care of their properties, don't take care of the landscape, and it will make your property a lot more attractive to tenants and buyers. So these are the basic improvements that we recommend. There's obviously a lot more improvements, a lot more that landlords and owners of industrial buildings can do, but these are the most common, and we think that these are the most that will maximize the value, and they will help you attract the quality tenant or the quality buyer that you're looking for at the maximum price for your building. And above all, they will capitalize into the building, they will improve value overall, than just leaving it out there and look like an abandoned building, which will not help you maximize the price. So I hope this helps. These are you can go into our website warehousesmarket.com, and you can look at all these tips under our services page. So if you go on the warehouse markets, and then you'll see our landlord, tenant, and buyer representation. You can go into frequent asked questions for landlord, and you will see the tips there that you can follow. And of course, you can always call us or email us, and we'll be happy to share the tips with you, and also give you our opinion on what needs to be done when the time comes to lease the property for lease and or for sale. The next segment on our podcast is we feature a property, and in this case we are featuring a property for lease, or I'm sorry, for sublease that we have, and is a great quality property in Miami Lakes. Is a former food production facility. It is 13694 Northwest 60th Avenue. It's in Miami Lakes. And this property, it has refrigeration and a food production capability, large parking, heavy power. It's 39,000 square feet with about 6,400 of cooler space. It has about 800 square feet of freezer, dock and street level, and 60 parking spaces. For sublease, at only $10 per square foot, industrial growth is a great opportunity for companies expanding in the food, great facility quality control, or even pharmaceuticals as they need temperature control or anything that needs to be with quality. It's a great facility located right in Miami Lakes, right at Palmetto, and close to I-75. And again, you can call us and schedule a showing for this property. You can call our office or contact any of our team members, and we'll be happy to schedule a visit and give you more information on it. And then our last segment, but not least, is our industrial tip. And in this case, as we always do, it is related to tips for leasing or selling an industrial building. And the tip is that we always recommend when we meet with landlords and property owners is we suggest that they get a survey or a floor plan done ahead of time. It's really amazing to know a lot of owners that they have owned the building for many years or even for a few years, and they don't have any records of any survey or any property floor plans, or haven't done anything related to measuring the property. So it helps maximize the value again, having all that information, and it's a good selling point, and it shows that as owners are organized and they have a system to keep track of the property. So when you're getting ready to lease the property for sale or lease, get a survey or just get an architect or somebody to just do simple drawings of the building that will help tenants or buyers visualize their business in there, and then it's one less obstacle that a tenant or a buyer can put at the time of negotiating. So these are the points that we have today. As always, we welcome your feedback, and we'd love to hear from all of you. Please leave us your comments either on our YouTube channel or on Apple Podcasts, and we'd love to hear your feedback and keep doing podcasts that are helpful to you. So please leave us your questions, comments, as many of you have done, and we keep improving as we get more feedback. And you can listen to our podcast on our Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts, whether it's on Google Play or Spotify or in Amazon. So feel free to check us there. You can also listen or watch us on our YouTube channel. You can watch all of our YouTube videos on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ComRealEdison. You can see all of our videos, podcasts, plus all the videos that we do with different tips for industrial real estate or related to industrial real estate. My name is Edison Vasquez. I'm part of the industrial team here at ComReal. We specialize on leasing and sales of industrial space here in South Florida, and through our network we're able to service many clients nationwide and even worldwide. So any requirement that you and your company may have, we're glad to help and service that requirement. You can follow me on Instagram at Edison Industrial, on Twitter at Edison CRE, on LinkedIn at Edison PA. And you can always visit our website, warehousesmarket.com, for all the information, latest listings, and more tips on leasing and selling industrial real estate. Thanks for checking us out. Have a great day. Make it profitable. See you next time. Take care.